Disclaimer. The comments made in this video are intended solely for entertainment purposes and are not intended to harm or offend anyone.
From a man caught driving while intoxicated.
Mr. Valderas, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
To a driver who turned a minor accident into a physical assault.
Ma'am, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine.
Here are 7 moments where Judge Fleischer makes it clear to these criminals that action has consequences. Starting with Mr. Bass, facing charges of driving while intoxicated, and to make matters worse, he refused to stop and provide any information after colliding with an unattended vehicle, which is completely unacceptable.
3 and 4.
Alex, good morning. Happy Monday.
Yes.
I think we're ready to go. Roll, nerds.
Do I stand here?
Marco Valderas.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Valderas, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. It looks like you're also charged with failing to comply with the. Let's read the information. On October 1st, 2024, did then and there unlawfully operated motor vehicle. No, that's not it. On or about October 21, 24, did then and there unlawfully while driving and operating a vehicle collide with and damaged an unattended vehicle operated by Figueroa, hereinafter called the complainant. The defendant did intentionally and knowingly fail to locate the complainant and give the complainant the name and address of the vehicle. All right, so failure to stop and give information. On both of those cases, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
It's outrageous how a full-grown adult who knows the law chooses to be irresponsible by driving recklessly and putting not just himself, but the public's life at risk.
Okay.
On October 18th, 2024, officer with Precinct 4 saw that her parked patrol car had been hit by another car. The wheel witness approached the officer and advised she saw a gray pickup truck hit the patrol vehicle. The wheel witness believed the pickup truck driver was intoxicated because he was driving erratically and nearly struck a cyclist on the same road. Less than 1 hour later, officers were dispatched to a vehicle matching the description, stopped in a moving lane of traffic with the occupant asleep inside. The officer observed front end and paint damage that matched the damage to the officer's vehicle. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 6 out of 8, one leg stand 1 out of 4. The GIC was read and breath was consented to. The results were 0.134 and 0.132.
IDWIs?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Judge Fleischer isn't one to sugarcoat things, so this man is not going to escape this.
Mr. Valderas, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your cases. Do you have a valid Texas driver license? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? Are you sure? Are you absolutely sure you have car insurance? Okay, you're not allowed to drive unless you have both, and I'm making that a condition of your bond. I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? How old are you?
28 years old.
You're 28? What do you do for a living?
I'm a real estate agent. I'm a real estate agent.
Okay.
At his age, he probably feels above the law and can just do whatever he wants.
We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you go to Victoria Center and reset. After that, we'll get you with pre-trial for you to sign your bond conditions. Then you'll get out of here. I'm going to tell you now that this is a DWI. There's a lot of time requirements. So don't sit and wait a month or two because you're only hurting yourself. You understand? I would get on it quick. All right, please.
Just like in the case of Mr. Bass, Judge Fleischer is confronted with another alarming instance of drunk driving, this time involving Robert Garza, who was caught speeding at 99 miles per hour.
Robert Garza. Mr. Garza, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On October 19th of 2024, officers were traveling eastbound on the Sam Houston Tollway when he conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's vehicle after observing it travel at a high rate of speed, 99 miles an hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. Upon contact, officers observed the defendant as the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle. Officers observed signs of intoxication, namely slurred speech, odor of alcohol in the breath, and glossy eyes. The defendant admitted he was coming from a party where he had consumed a 6-pack of alcohol. As the VSTs were administered, 6 out of 6 on the horizontal gaze and nystagmus, 4 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and 1 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. DIC was read, defendant refused. A search warrant was signed and executed for the defendant's blood. And Judge, there's no criminal history here and the license is currently eligible.
It's unbelievable that he went to a party without prioritizing a safe way to get home after drinking. I mean, what happened to calling a cab or having someone else drive him?
Okay. Mr. Garza, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes.
Okay. If I find that you drive like this at or above 99 miles an hour or something like that, I'm going to take away your privilege to drive. Do you understand?
Sir.
We have speed limits for a reason. We have on every day, someone dies in Harris County because of some kind of alcohol related collision. Not on my watch. If I find that you drive like this again, no more driving. Understand?
Sir.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of dope, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. I see that you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but you must stay in touch with Mr. Runcie, and he will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Don't pick up any new cases. Don't drink and don't drive like a complete. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I'll have you sign a resale with Victoria, and then we'll have you sitting back and wait for your lawyer to arrive. Please.
As expected, Judge Fleischer wasn't going to let him off the hook without strict warnings about the consequences of drinking again while out on bond. While Mr. Garza is out on bond, this case here involves Mr. Billio, who is charged with reckless driving after engaging in dangerous behavior at a car meet in Harris County, Texas.
Mr. Baldillo, you were charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
One moment, Your Honor. Can I get a cause number for that?
It is 2535302.
On October 22nd, 2024, the officer was conducting surveillance at a car meet in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle doing donuts in the parking lot within close proximity of multiple other motor vehicles and pedestrians. The officer observed the motor vehicle's rear tires lose traction and began spinning out of control. The motor vehicle's rear end whipped around wildly within approximately 10 to 15 feet of people spectating. A traffic stop was initiated. The defendant was detained and identified with ACES.
Mr. Baldillo, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. What is your immigration status? Are you in this country with or without permission?
To make matters worse, this man is not even in the country with permission. This alone speaks volumes that he doesn't care about the law and probably feels is above it, and Judge Fleischer isn't going to tolerate this attitude.
What happens if you go to jail?
Well, I will go to the, I will go because I did it what I did.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Está aquí con permiso o sin permiso en este país. Sin permiso. Without.
What happens if you go to jail?
¿Qué pasa si va a usted a la cárcel? I don't know.
Think.
Piensa.
You're not in this country with permission. So what happens to people who go to jail and they're not in this country with permission?
Permiso, a la cárcel. ¿Qué pasaría?
No sé por lo que cometí esto mal. Por lo que cometí esto mal.
I don't know, but what I did it was bad.
At this point, Judge Fleischer is pissed with the level of disrespect this criminal has for the law.
If you go to jail and you're not in this country with permission, immigration sweeps it on a daily basis. If they find you there, they will put an immigration detainer. You will sit in custody for about 6 to 9 months waiting for immigration to do whatever they're going to do to you. And at that point, it's very possible they deport you to where your country of origin. Do you understand? This is your second case
That's to say,
within the last 6 to 7 months. I'm ordering you not to drive, and I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm now sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your body. You're to go take a test and come right back. And if I find that you don't take the test, if you don't come back, I'm telling you now, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. No more PR bonds. And if you're unlucky enough, the next time you go to jail, you're going to be there for almost a year. Do you understand? Before you leave right now, you will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what is going on in your life. If I find that you drive, I don't care what the reason is. You will be doing up to 6 months in jail because I can hold you in contempt. Do you understand?
The worst thing he would do to himself is defile Judge Fleischer's orders.
Are you here with anyone today?
No.
No.
Solo,
How old are you?
¿Qué edad tienes tú?
24.
24.
How'd you get here?
Llegaste aquí.
Pues me trajo mi amigo.
A friend came here, right?
Come sign this. We're sending you now for a drug test. You must come right back after the test, Mr. Baudilio. No, it's going to be.
Talking about criminals who never learn from their mistakes. This case is a good example of that. Mr. Cameron here is facing a second offense for driving while intoxicated, a charge that could land him up to a year in jail and hit him with a $4,000 fine.
Cameron Newell.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Newell, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. Second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 21st, 2024, officer was dispatched as backup regarding a possible DWI where the defendant's vehicle hit the concrete wall at the 100 block of East Sam Houston Tollway after the defendant failed to maintain a single lane. The officer observed the defendant with slurred speech and slow responses and often asked the same question multiple times. The standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 7 out of 8, one leg stand 1 out of 4. The defendant was unable to complete the one leg stand because he had screws in his left ankle. The DIC was red and the defendant consented to a blood draw.
The fact that this man knows exactly what happened the last time he was under the influence and driving, but still goes on to do that repeatedly, is outrageous.
So the PC is the accident, right?
The accident, Your Honor.
Are you on parole?
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation at this time?
Yes, sir.
Here's a prior manslaughter case where we had a death in a car. Was there alcohol or any kind of dope as an allegation of that one as well?
Let me check, Your Honor.
Do you have a Texas driver license, Mr. Newell?
Yes, sir.
Is he trying to come up with an excuse to defend his actions?
If you want to drive, I'm ordering you not to drive in the middle of the night. I'm now putting a curfew on you and giving you a restriction. I don't want you out in the middle of the night, and I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm putting an ankle monitor on you so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. You better darn well know about every single thing that you put in your body. Mr. Newell, I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the public. You already have one fatality in a car under your belt. I'm not going to put up with it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
No alcohol, drugs. You are not to drive any vehicle that doesn't have a guardian interlock on it. I am sending now notice to the Texas Department of Public Safety so that they know any car that you drive must be equipped with an ignition interlock. And if it doesn't, they're going to put you in jail. And I'm going to tell you now, you violate any of these conditions, I'm going to lock you up and I'm going to deem you a public danger and make your bond very high. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, I do.
No alcohol, no illegal drugs, and I'm going to test you like crazy to make sure that you're not using it. What do you do for a living?
I'm a land surveyor,
How much money do you make a month?
2,000 to 4,000.
We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. Like I said, I'm giving you a curfew so that you're not out in the middle of the night. Do you understand? If you violate this, then likewise, you go to jail. That's it.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'll be honest with you.
No, there's nothing that you can say to justify anything at this point. You gotta understand, Mr. Newell, my primary concern is public safety. That's the only thing that matters to me. Every day, someone in Harris County dies from an alcohol-related collision. It's a sick and sobering statistic that I will do everything in my power to prevent. Do you understand? And if that means putting everyone in custody, I'm going to do it to protect my county. That's the only thing that matters to me. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'll get you a pre-trial for your bond conditions. And after that, we'll have you take a seat while we get all the paperwork ready. You must charge these batteries on a constant and daily basis. If the battery goes dead, they will file a bond violation report. And then you know what's going to happen. You're on notice now.
Sir.
Okay. Come on.
Imagine a man who can't control his anger, threatening to kill his wife over a simple argument. Mr. Mo here is facing charges of making terroristic threats and criminal mischief after he damaged his wife's laptops.
Morning, sir. How do I pronounce your last name? Is it
Moor?
Imar?
Yeah.
Okay, sir, you're charged with terroristic threat of a family or a household member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. I see that you're also charged with criminal mischief. On that one, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
On October 22nd, 2024, officers were dispatched to an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas, in reference to a terroristic threat. Officers made contact with the complainant, who stated her husband, the defendant, threatened to kill her and damaged her work personal laptops. The complainant stated that she and the defendant were separated, but wanted to give it another shot. The complainant and the defendant got into a verbal argument over where the defendant should put his belongings, and the complainant went into the bedroom to separate herself. The defendant stated he was going to kill her and do whatever it took to go back to Nepal. The complainant ran out of the bathroom to her motor vehicle and left the location. The complainant stated the defendant later sent her a picture with a hammer damaging the screens of her laptops. The total was $450.
Mr. Kammeyer, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person whatsoever. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every person of Harris County. If that means putting you in custody and make your bond sky high, I'm going to do it. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You had contact with this person, Morgan, anyone?
Yes, Judge. I spoke with her yesterday. She is also requesting no contact in this case. I believe they're living separately at the moment.
Okay.
There is a signed MOA in place as well, and I believe that address is correct.
There's a protective order that has been issued in this case. I suggest you get to know it, because if you do something to violate the protective order, the state can and will file additional charges against you. You violate those conditions, I can hold you at no bond, zero bond, and I will do it in a heartbeat. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
As expected, Judge Fleischer wouldn't let this slide. Placing a no-contact order is the best decision for the woman's safety, ensuring that Mr. Mo is held accountable for his actions.
Any kind of evidence of alcohol or drug usage at all? And then in the prior assault, same complaining witness?
Same complainant in the first office, Judge.
No, Your Honor, there's no allegations of alcohol use.
So can you create conditions, no contact and no weapons?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of weapons. When I mean no contact, I mean no contact of any kind. Phone calls, text messages, emails, Snapchat, social media, use of third parties to try to get a hold of this person. No means no. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm gonna have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then we'll have you wait for your lawyer.
Judge.
While Mr. Mo is made to face the consequences of his actions, Judge Fleischer is faced with yet another defendant, Mr. Areola, a repeat offender who has the audacity to request another chance to report for probation after repeatedly violating the law.
Good morning, Ms. Areola. Good to see you. I'm sorry that we're seeing you under these circumstances, but you've picked up some serious charges in Como County. And the problem is that you never, ever ever once have appeared on your own in the dozens and dozens of charges that you and I have had together, have never once on your own appeared. And you want me to give you a PR bond?
Judge,
Tell me.
I'm asking, give me an opportunity to present myself or report myself to the probations that you've acquired my person to be. I've been back and forth between Harris County and Comal County since the last time you released me. I never gotten a chance. I just now came from Comal County back over here. I'm asking for give me the opportunity that I may be able to
report on his probation, Judge.
yeah.
And based off what I am looking, it appears that these Comal County cases happened prior to him being placed on probation. So they wouldn't necessarily be a violation of his probation.
Alex, what say you about the time?
He was placed on probation, it seems in May, if I'm correct. Is that correct?
May of 2024.
These Como County cases, they took place in July of 2024 and subsequently filed that same month. So July, so after he was placed on probation.
Mr. Ariola.
I was in Comal. I was taken from here to Comal County. Okay, prior when you gave me that, I was out. That I was able to.
I think I know what he's trying to say. He's saying he has never been out of jail to commit these cases in July.
But he has been. You were out.
If I may,
You were in aftercare, and it was probably at that time when you picked up the new cases.
it's the same. If I may share with you, these cases are the same cases or the same circumstances, just as the trespass.
I know. And I know it keeps happening over and over and over. They try to pick you up, you don't like it, and it hits the fan. And then you end up picking 3 to 4 charges as every single time this happens.
I'm not a criminal, nor my intention is to do crime in the world. That is not my way of living. That is not my way. What I'm at this moment right now, what I'm seeking, what I'm asking is to get the opportunity to be able to report and to do as you asked for the probation.
Let me tell you one thing, okay? Hold on. Since 2021, you and I have been dancing. You've picked up an attempted possession of a firearm, possession of a controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance, failure to ID, resisting arrest, failure to ID, failure to ID, failure to ID, evading arrest, criminal trespass, possession of a controlled substance, failure to ID, criminal trespass, and another criminal trespass.
Actions speak louder than words. You know, it's annoying how he claims he's not a criminal, but keeps on picking up charges like it's his hobby.
On all of those, except the last 2, every single time you have done time served. And I told you on the last 2, before you picked it up and we let you go, I said, Mr. Ariola, if you pick up another case, we are done with catch and release. We will now do everything in our power to ensure that the trespasses and the failure to IDs and the thefts and the assault stop. And we would do that by doing the dual diagnosis residential program. And I told you that we would continue to do it over and over and over until it stops. You know what's going to happen every time you wear orange in Harris County. That's it. I have given you PR bond after PR bond to the tune of probably 12 PR bonds. And every single time we've given you a PR bond, you never show up.
Judge Fleischer is not going to fall for his empty words this time.
No more catch and release. We now need to get to the root of the problem. That's what we're going to do. And even if we have to do DDRP 5 times.
Listen, let's be honest. If I was to represent myself and stick to the grounds of laws, of real laws, of what's contributing to what's to my self-being, my well-being, my person, the person that you are treating in such a way at this very moment, it would be a different story and a different face for you, my friend. I'm only talking here.
Stop. That can be considered as a threat. I am just giving you fair warning.
I want to help you, Mr. Ariola. I want to end the cycle of you keep coming back to jail. Believe it or not, I want to help you. I want to end this. I want you to get a job. I want you to be a productive member. And I was hoping by having you go to the DDRP and in aftercare, that would happen. I don't know. I don't know what happened. You were doing great in DDRP, and we got reports that you were doing great. When you got to aftercare, I don't know what happened, though.
At this point, it's obvious this man has lost it completely, and the last thing he deserves is a PR bond. He needs to be held accountable and given a solution for this outrageous behavior of his. Well, for every criminal trying to manipulate his way out, Judge Fleischer makes sure not to let them off the hook, and they are held accountable. This last case is focused on Ms. Chase, who is facing charges for going as far as causing serious injuries just because of a minor accident.
Good morning.
Chase, ma'am, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, Judge. The complainant filed a report with officers after being assaulted at a Whataburger in Harris County, Texas. During the incident, the complainant was behind the defendant in the drive-thru. The complainant believed that she put her vehicle in park and released her brake. However, the vehicle rolled forward and struck the defendant's vehicle. The defendant got out and began yelling at the complainant. The defendant then opened the complainant's door and began striking the complainant in the face, causing pain. During the report, the officer observed the complainant had a busted lip and broken blood vessels in the eye. The officers were able to view the Whataburger surveillance of the assault, as well as the video taken by a witness showing the assault.
Attacking someone and causing this much pain just because of a slight tap drive-through is completely outrageous.
Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you not to go back to this Whataburger and not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case. I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of any weapons as well. These are your bond conditions. If you violate these conditions, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get more PR bonds. You understand? Okay. What do you do for a living, man? What do you do for a living?
Cancer advocate.
Do you have a steady income with them?
Yeah, I do the nonprofit as well. I have a nonprofit organization.
So how much money do you make a month? From all sources, would you say?
To think that she's involved in a nonprofit organization and acted this violently is wild. How can you claim to help others when you can't control your temper over a simple issue?
Okay, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. You need a lawyer to represent you because this can and certainly will affect any kind of nonprofit organizations. You know, if you try to get any kind of funding, you know, it's going to just kill it. So you need a lawyer. Okay. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, we'll have you take your seat in the jury box. I'm going to get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it and then you'll be free to go. Be careful, man. Life's too short.
I know.
Please.
She's lucky she's only facing assault charges. Her reaction was not only extreme, but dangerous.